Okay, well, hello everyone. Welcome to a bit of a very impromptu ICPL Semifinals match. This week, your Mr. City Mews are taking on Coach Cherry and his team, the Philadelphia Melmetals. And yeah, this game actually happened Wednesday. I'm recording this Friday, so this is going to be my first time, like, really doing a post-commentary of a Wi-Fi battle, so this is going to be kind of interesting. This is my second take because I made a bunch of jokes in the last one that I feel kind of landed flat. Um, yeah. I'll just say that. I made a few jokes about my play that landed flat. So, in this matchup, let me just pull the matchup up real quick. I'm not going to be doing, like, in-depth breakdown of my team. But here we go. My team on the left, his team on the right. You already know my team. His team consists of Chien-Pao. It has free Tera, which makes it even more of a threat. I suspected like Tera Psychic with Psychic Feigns just to catch the Toxapex off guard. And it gets like Ice Spinner, Sacred Sword, Swords Dance, Ice Shard, Sucker Punch for priority. It it can really like it does a number on my team, and that's one of the many threats that I don't have an out for. Next up's Iron Moth. Aside from Ting Wu, I don't have an out for it. It's Bug Buzz, Psychic, Fiery Dance, Agility, and it can boost up with like booster energy, and then I think it gets Agility too. Next up is Cyclozar. Cyclozar is allowed to shed Tail Pass, which makes Chien-Pao and Iron Moth even more deadly. Hits a nice base 121 speed tier, has taunt access to shut down Toxapex, Screamtail, and Ting Wu, and also Volcarona from setting up as well. And next up, he has a defensive core on Dondozo, Florges, and then Fortress as well. Florges really complements those two Pokemon very, very well because it can Wish Pass. And Dondozo Fortress struggles with reliable recovery. I don't count Rest as reliable recovery. I've tried Rest Taunt Dondozo and it hasn't really worked well in the past. So being able to kind of pivot in from a specially defensive wall in Florges into a physically defensive wall in Dondozo, or like even Fortress, it really helps to get that free wish into it. Granted, Dondozo has a very high HP stat, so it won't get as much wish recovery from the Florges. But yeah, Florges can also like Moonblast, and I think it can go for Calm Mind Sweeps if it wants to. So for Fortress Florges, why does he have two Pokemon that sound exactly the same? I don't know. They work well together though, so yeah, that's his defensive core in a nutshell. Dondozo also gets Unaware, which ignores stat boost, which is very annoying for Volcarona, so I can't really beat him with setup, if I can beat him at all. Next up he has Iron Thorns. Iron Thorns is pretty much a jack of all trades, master of none Pokemon. It can be a hazard setter, it can be a setup sweeper, it can be really whatever you make it to be. Has a solid base 72 speed tier that outpaces a little bit of my team. But yeah, that's Iron Thorns. Next up, he has the Gallade. Gallade is like a... I am stunned that this is a 1-point Pokemon that we missed on the... or that the mods missed on this document for this season. I am stunned by it. I was stunned by Umbreon, but I'm even more stunned by this because Gallade got a massive buff this generation with Sharpness, boosting the power of its slashing moves like Sacred Sword, Psycho Cut, Leaf Blade by a little bit. It gets agility too, so it can boost its speed and just fire off powerful life orb boosted Leaf Blades, Psycho Cuts, or Sacred Swords, and just really sweep your team whole. And it is also another one of his Tera captains, making it even more deadly. And I don't know if you know this by looking at my team, but yeah, I have nothing for a Gallade. Screamtail could do it, but there's the added threat of him being Tera Steel or Tera Poison, and then just slapping it super effectively. And Gallade also gets Poison Jab too, so that's something to be wary of as well. So next up, he has the Palisand. Palisand is pretty much an annoying bulky rock setter. It can go for It can go for Shadow Ball, Earth Power, stuff like that. And it can be an annoying spin blocker, which would be an issue, but I don't have a viable rapid spinner. I'm sorry, Cryogonal, I love you, but you're not viable, buddy. Next up, he has Fortress. I went over that. Physically defensive wall, hazard stacker, rapid spin access. It's great. Next up, he has Pincurchin. Pincurchin will boost the power and usefulness of Iron Moth and Iron Thorns a little bit. Sets electric terrain, which activates their ability Squirt Drive, which will heighten their most proficient stat. And yeah. And it also gets Spikes access too. I think it gets Spikes and T-Spikes, so that's interesting. Especially for a team that has no hazard removal. So, yeah. That's his team. Kind of going into what you see in front of you, I brought Screamtail with a Calm Mindset. Had a pretty intricate EV spread. I think it was just to allow me to take on hits from Moth and Chien-Pao both. I had Psyshock, D-Gleam, and Grass Knot on it. Just for, like, neutral super effective hits on most of his team, minus the Fortress, which came back to bite me in the end. Then Kebia Berry for the Iron Moth. Next up I had Ting Wu. Ting Wu had EQ, Whirlwind, Protect, and Rocks. It was mainly designed as an Iron Moth check. 92 attack to 2-hit KO the Florges with EQ. Granted, he probably would have had Fizz Def investment, like I suspect his Dondozo would have Spadef investment. But yeah, that was the general idea with Ting Wu. Toxapex was Pyapa Berry for the Psychic Feints Chien-Pao or Gallade to take a hit, go for Toxic, put it on a timer, and just Baneful Bunker spam. I had Baneful Bunker, Toxic Recover, and Surf. Surf was just to hit Chien-Pao a little bit harder, and that's the general idea there. Iron Hands have 124 HP, a little bit of defense, a little bit of Spadef, and then max attack Adamant. I was Expert Belt with Thunder Punch, Dream Punch, EQ, and Sub. The idea was to get in on Dondozo or Fortress, not Florges, get up a sub, and then just fire off Thunder Punches. Like, just to kind of start breaking their team open, because that was my only hope of breaking through their defensive core. Next up I have Volcarona, which was a bit more offensive than I usually like. It only had 52 defense as opposed to my usual like max HP, max defense sets. Then I had pretty much max speed, max special attack with Quiver Dance, Giga Drain, Flamethrower, Psychic. And then Dragapult was a Tera Fairy Dragapult with Sub, Willow, Hex, and then Tera Blast. Tera Blast was Fairy for the Chien-Pao, and I had just enough special attack to Oko Chien-Pao. And then I had enough bulk to try and whip most hits thrown at me, and that's the general idea for my team. So I'm going to slightly spoil this game. The wheels fell off of this bus, so let's get into it. So, skipping ahead a bit, I see that he has this team. My main thought process before this game is if he had Fortress, I'd have to leave Volcarona to just stop him from getting Stealth Rocks up and just hazard stacking, because that's how I felt he beat me, by hazard stacking, forcing my defense out, and just taking a bunch of chip that I didn't want to take. So Volcarona was designed to make sure I didn't get chipped immediately, or just only took Rocks chip. So yeah. Let's see. This is very, very impromptu. So he does lead with the Gallade, and so immediately I'm thinking I gotta switch out and do Screamtail. He's gonna Oko me with Psycho Cut because I don't have defensive investment. So I contemplate for a little bit, but I do eventually go into Screamtail. Let me see if I can skip ahead to that. Yeah. I go Screen Tail. He hard switches into Dondozo, I think, here. Yeah. So there's the Dondozo. Here I think I set up a Calm Mind as he switches into Fortress. I'm not entirely sure what I thought here. I probably should have just Grass Knotted to get a bit of chip. But I didn't need to pull the trigger this early on this. The play here was to hard switch into Iron Hands. I didn't need to risk this. But if I did hard switch into Iron Hands, it's pretty much getting the inevitable already done with. And you'll see what the inevitable is when we get there. So, go into this thing. And then I think I'll switch back in Volcarona. Yeah, I switch back in Volcarona thinking he'll go for a steel move. Pretty much I've lost a lot of hope at this point because he got this thing in for free, and that's what I was fearing. But he Volt Switches out instead of going for rocks, which is a very, very good play versus my team because I struggle with momentum. Here, I stay in on the Dondozo. At this stage in the game, I really think that the best play for me to do is to just try and immediately break this game open with Volcarona. Giga Drain does like half to Dondozo, so I figured I might as well take the risk and just try and break the game open, make him a bit uncomfortable. But he reads my play, clicks Rock Slide, and I barely live it. So this has just been an unfortunate game so far, and it's not about to get better. So Volcarona is pretty much good as useless now. I decide to switch out into Iron Hands because I don't want to risk Volcarona because, well, I still think I can win with it. Completely ignoring that Chien-Pao can just come in and just quick Ice Shard. But he quits Rock Slide on me again and gets the Leftovers recovery. I should have stayed in and just Giga Drained again. I didn't need to risk Volcarona. But, I feel like I lost this given what's going to happen in a few turns. But he switches out Dondozo, and after this Fortress exchange, I am going to have to cut the video and put on a bit more fitting background music, if you catch my drift. So, I quit Dream Punch to get more recovery, and I kept spamming Dream Punch versus this thing. So, Dream Punch, get a bit of recovery back. He quits Body Press, and it doesn't KO my sub. It probably just barely missed out on it, because I was pretty bulky with this. Gets Leftovers recovery, and then I decide to quick Drain Punch again to get a little bit more recovery back, because I don't have Leftovers and I need as much health back as I can. I figured I can 1v1 this thing, so yeah. And I figured if he knocks out my sub, I can just quick sub again if he stays in. So I Drain Punch, get this thing to half, and get a little bit more recovery back. So he switches out. He goes Volt Switch, switches out into... He'll switch out into Gallade, but he breaks my sub on a crit. Granted, this crit had a chance to not matter. It had a chance to matter and to not matter. To be honest, I don't think it mattered, because what you're about to see is going to be highly unfortunate, and I'm going to have to change the music to suit the mood. Alright, so the Gallade is in. So here we go. Um, I decide that I'm probably gonna switch out into Screamtail. It's my best defensive check, right? It's gonna Psycho Cut, KO me. There's no way he doesn't attack here. So let's see what happens. Let's swap into Screamtail, see what happens. Alright. Be a shame if he were to read this. So go into Screamtail. Most obvious play on earth, and he read it. Oh god. So he's up to +2. And at this point I'm in shambles. Decide to quick Dazzling Gleam to try and do a last-ditch effort, see if he stays as like just a regular Gallade. I know Dazzling Gleam doesn't kill, but he doesn't know that. We're gonna quick Dazzling Gleam, but he knows that. So he terastallizes and he goes Tera Ghost. So immediately I know Shadow Sneak shenanigans are afoot, and that I might be in trouble. So I quit Dazzling Gleam, does nothing, and he quits Swords Dance again. So, what does he do now? He's gonna quit Psyshock as a desperation move, but he has Shadow Sneak. So, Gallade picks up 1 kill. And Screamtail goes down. My main Gallade check just got O-code by Gallade. It's going excellent. So, at this point, adamew is in shambles, or me, I'm in shambles. What is he gonna do? He's gonna send in Toxapex. I wonder if he knew what he's about to do isn't gonna work. He tries to Baneful Bunker, trying to catch him using a contact move. But little does he know, at the time, Psycho Cut is not a contact move. And at this point, all hope's lost. Yeah, all hope's lost for him. He needs to pick a god and pray, but, well, his god's standing right in front of him, and it's the Gallade. So, he doesn't know what to do. He really don't know what to do. He's in shambles. He's in shambles. He choked the game. Man got a crit. What's he gonna do? All of a sudden, he's timer stalling. He goes for the Psycho Cut. He has the Psychic Berry, but it doesn't save him. Toxapex down. Gallade gets another kill against his only check. Or gets another one of its checks. But all hope's not lost. He has one more ace up his sleeve. He can try to go into Dragapults and quick Hex. Pray he wins the Shadow Sneak. But keep in mind, this thing is +4 and Tera Ghost boosted. But Dragapult's bulky, who knows, it may be able to live. He Teras. He's gonna Tera into Tera Fairy. It's gonna be great. He's gonna tank this Shadow Sneak, and he's going to kill this Gallade into Train of Terror, and then probably get swept by Chien-Pao instead. But Gallade quits Shadow Sneak, comes off, and O-Co's. And every single one of his answers has failed. Gallade wants some of the HP, but it don't matter. He sends in Volcarona. He knows the game's lost. There's not much he can do but run away and forfeit the battle. Gallade picks up the rest of the kills by proxy, and adamew loses the game 6-0. Okay, I know that section was kind of funny, but seriously though, good game to Cherry. He, like, it's hard for me to, like, kind of, like, take games like these, but I got outdone Like, this game was lost at the end of this draft, or at the end of like the initial draft. That's when this game was lost. Cherry's team is just Cherry's team may be the best team I've ever played in a draft league ever. Like, with what's available, just oh my god, everything is just unmanageable together. And yeah, it didn't help that I didn't have like my defenses for his offense was wet cardboard pretty much. Like it wasn't doing anything. And yeah, I tried to do the best I could with prep. I had like a couple of my friends help me with prepping. Shout outs to Jordy for helping me prep. Um, so yeah, that's how our ICPL season ends at the hands of a Gallade. Or at the swords of a Gallade, the scythes, whatever his little arm things are. Uh, you know what I mean. We lost. We got kicked by a Gallade. So, um, I'm gonna be trying to join up with another draft league soon. I'm going to. I'm not gonna mention the draft league I'm trying to join, but a couple of my closer friends do know which draft league I'm trying to join, possibly. But yeah, should hopefully have another draft league coming soon. So that'll be hype. Hopefully, hopefully it'll go well. And yeah, as for ICPL stuff, I'm planning on doing a finals match analysis later today or later tomorrow, I guess. I don't know. It's gonna be after midnight when I record it because I have a meeting to go to and then I have to go to work. And yeah, but I'm planning on doing a finals game analysis. So yeah. And then after that, I'm probably gonna do a finals game reaction too. So yeah, there's still a bit of ICPL content on the way, so look forward to that. But anyways, I guess I will catch you on the next one. So peace.